Hey folks, I just wanted to jump in with a recording of episode 3 of my web series for Watson Analytics for Social Media and introduce one of the new features that we've included in our release. And there's been a couple here recently, but certainly excited about looking at some author interest. So over the upcoming weeks and months, I'll be continuing to add to this web series to show off some of these new features as they come in. But today I just wanted to focus on author interest. But before jumping into the author interest stuff, I thought I'd talk about the model just a little bit. So here I'm interested in looking at who's looking to get married, who's going to be talking about having a baby, buying a house, joining the military, retiring, some of these other major life events that certainly, across industries really would be very interesting to see who is talking about those overarching topics. And then I wanted to segment those into a couple of different themes. So who is looking for professional advice? Who is going to be saving money for, who is the first in my family to do any of these things, and also who's looking for an app. That's an important element as well, right? Who is looking for a way to perhaps manage it, perhaps look at either scheduling or budgetary concerns. So these are the types of things that I'm interested in. I've picked a date range, I've picked my languages, I've picked sources. So I've got that data set back, and that data set lives within Watson Analytics. So what I did is take that data set, and within the data set there is this new hierarchy called author interests. And so there's a number of different subcategories at sort of a higher level, and you can drill into the detail as well. So if I wanted to show you what I mean by that, I'm going to click on my data set that looks at these topics, and I'm going to say something like, show me the connections between topic, which are the divorcing, having a baby, and interests. So now it's going to look to try and find a way to answer the question based on what I've entered here. So most relevant, what are the connections between? It's going to give me a network diagram. There's a couple of other different ways I could visualize this, but I think the network diagram does a good example of really showcasing the power here. So as I'm looking at these different overarching topics, right in the middle are these author interests that kind of fit the relationships between. So I can see who's interested in food and drink versus style and fashion versus sports. I'm going to actually drill down into computing and technology, though, because I think that overlap is pretty interesting as well. So you can see that there's this relationship here. I'm actually going to jump into consumer electronics, because I think that is kind of an interesting overlap. So you can see, when we're talking about buying a house, not surprisingly that it would kind of fit in the middle of some of these other systems that you would need. Perhaps when you're buying a house, you want to make sure that you have your computer and your Blu-ray player, stereo. But also, this having a PC here is an interesting overlap as well into some of these other topics. So it's using this type of information to gather a little bit more about the author themselves. And now I can go up and maybe go down a different drill path, for instance. So if I go up to the top level, maybe I want to look at, arts and entertainment. So again, I can see sort of from the internet and multimedia versus shows and events. I can drill down into the shows, and it's going to tell me a little bit more about those people and what they're interested in. So it's about being able to build that potential opportunity or customer profile and learn just a little bit more. So it's a very quick pass at the power of examining author interest as it relates to social media within Watson Analytics for Social Media. So again, if you haven't signed up for Watson Analytics for Social Media, we do have a 30-day trial that you can sign up. Just go to watsonanalytics.com, check it out. And you can be doing this type of analysis as well. All right. Thanks, guys.